Уважаемые коллеги, добрый день. Сейчас видно меня, интересно, или презентацию нашего гостя?
Видно презентацию, но мы вас слышим.
Ну, хотелось бы, чтобы меня тоже было видно. Так. Ну, хорошо, я так могу, в принципе, начать. Начну. Здравствуйте, уважаемые коллеги. Большое спасибо, что нашли сегодня к нашей встрече. Мы всех рады приветствовать. Меня зовут Дмитрий. Мы уже который раз организуем подобного рода заседания клуба экспортеров образования. Стараемся их сделать каждый раз какими-то особенными, запоминающимися. Вот. К счастью, сегодня у нас и так настроение повышенное, я думаю, у всех после вчерашних сообщений, позавчерашних о облегчении режима. И мы, правда, надеемся, что мы сможем все-таки нормально вступить в начинающийся учебный год. Сегодня я бы хотел предоставить возможность выступить перед нами нашей коллеге, партнеру Центра экспорта образования в Мексике. Ее зовут Лаура Агире, и она хотела бы, по нашей просьбе, хотела бы рассказать о специфике набора студентов на основных рынках Латинской Америки, которыми понимаются Мексика, Колумбия, Бразилия, Эквадор и так далее. Несколько стран. Она расскажет о своем личном опыте и, в принципе, поделиться с нами. Я тогда сейчас предлагаю нам перейти на английский язык в этой части мероприятия. После этой части у нас будет вторая часть, она будет посвящена отчету о проведенном, значит, Центром экспорта образования глобальном дне российского образования. И мы поговорим о том, какие дальнейшие планы у нас есть по этому поводу. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Laura, for joining us at such early time. I think it's 8 a.m., right, in Mexico?
Yes,
right
a.m.
now. Yeah. Thank you.
Happy to be here. Thank you for your time. Good morning for me and good evening for you.
Yes, it is evening already. In some parts of Russia, it is night already.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's always interesting to have such, widely spread geographic meetings. It's interesting. So thank you very much for joining us. And I just have announced that you are a partner of the Education Expert Center in Mexico. And you actually were so kind to agree to join us today and have a presentation about Latin American markets and how to recruit from those markets. And you would especially, speak about some key markets. I think you know this much more than all of us here. So please, I would like to give you a floor. Я попрошу коллеги по возможности все вопросы задавать в чате. И после презентации Лаура даст ответы. So Laura, I just said that you will, that other colleagues will ask their questions in the chat facility, and after your presentation, you will answer those questions.
Okay.
All right?
So everybody can see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, perfect. So I'm going just to move this and start. I have an educational consultancy, Inspire Now. I'm the co-founder and consultant. And I've been in this market for the last 20 years. So focus in Latin America. So I'm going to try to explain you and to give you a general idea about this market. And I guess some tips for you not to start with this market and just to know familiar with everything about Latin America. So yeah, any doubt, please let me know in English because I don't understand Russian and I don't have like an idea, but I will try to explain you. What we are going to see today, it's what should you know about Latin America, not just like some important points, some Latin facts, in general about the educational system, because it's not like similar, well, I mean, it's not the same in the whole region, but there are many similar things. And we are going to focus the context of 3 main countries, Brazil, Mexico, Chile, and Colombia. We are going to see also the most requested programs and areas. So you will have an idea what we look for in terms of international education. We are going to see also the most popular destinations for LATAM abroad, factors to study abroad in Latin America, main issues for educational agencies. I'm not an agent, I'm a consultancy, but I work with a lot of agents and the most important agents in the region. So we are going to see something about them. And also about the international universities, the challenge, the changes and what we need to do now. And a synthesis about all this. So starting, what should you know about Latin America? Many people just see the region as like a tourist area, like a lot of like people and like in some cases not really good issues, but we have a lot of things, a lot of things to offer. And we have been growing in terms of international education. I remember when I started 20 years ago, like, I mean, not everybody was looking for students of the region, but this is changing. We are 20 countries and 14 independent territories in the region. We cover an area that stretches from Mexico to Tierra del Fuego, Argentina, and the Caribbean. And I mean, the Caribbean is important. No, it's just small islands, but it's very important. And some speak also English. This area is approximately of 19 million square kilometers. So it's, I mean, I know Russia is so big, but this is also big. Almost 13% of the Earth's land surface area, with more than 652 million people. This according with the numbers of March this year. So it's really quite accurate. The gross domestic product, it's 5.2 million US dollars. This is a number of last year, but this is the last number. So it's also important in terms of the GDP. And the demonym, it's Latin America, America Latina in Spanish, So it's just in general the facts. The main language, as you already know, I think it's Spanish, Portuguese, and French. Portuguese is for Brazil, but it's a big country. And almost all the countries speak Spanish, just some French, but it's a Spanish region. The largest cities in metro areas are Mexico City, it's the number 1. Then it's Sao Paulo in Brazil, Buenos Aires, Rio de Janeiro, Bogota, Lima, Santiago, Belo Horizonte, Guadalajara, and Monterrey. So it's 10 big cities. 3 are from Mexico. It's Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Monterrey are the main cities in Mexico. 3 belong to Brazil, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and Belo Horizonte. So Brasilia is the capital, but it's not like a big city. And the rest are from Argentina and Chile, So, and Lima is the capital of Peru. So these are the largest city of the region. Very important cities. I know all of them. I've been in these 2 different cities. So it's, I mean, it gives you an idea about the region. I guess these are the main cities also in terms of international education. The main issues of the region is like, of course, we have a lot of issues, a lot of problems, and the problems because the pandemic crisis is, I think, is growing. We have, I mean, migration. It's 1 million for Latinos look for better opportunities and live in other countries. Like Mexicans looking opportunities in the US, Central America is trying to come to Mexico. Venezuelans are trying to go to and move to Colombia. So it's migration is very important. crime and violence. No, it's also Latin America and the Caribbean have been cited by number of sources to be the most dangerous regions in the world. No, I mean, cities like Mexico City, you know, it's like and it's true, you know, believe me, it's true. Mexico City is really violent, and I mean, you can find unsafe in everywhere in some cases. Cities like San Pedro Sula in Honduras, no, in Central America is also dangerous, but I mean, in some cases, no, the news also face different things, but the crime and violence is very important. Inequality, it's also not like a big issue because inequality in Latin America remains a serious issue despite strong economy growth and improved social indicators over the past decade. And education. Education it's a problem, but it's also an advantage in somehow. Despite significant progress, education access and school completion remains unequal in Latin America, no? And that's also very important. But in the other side, we have a lot of things to offer to the world. We are rich in tourism, in natural resources, no? I mean, we have a lot of beautiful places, natural places. The culture, art, World Heritage Sites, among many other things. Just general.
И бакалавриат, и специалитет.
Sorry?
Коллеги, пожалуйста,
Мы же на русском делаем, вот так вот, бакалавриат, потом отдельно пойдет специалитет туда.
Коллеги, пожалуйста, микрофон.
Это пока на русском, потом же это на английский еще надо.
I don't understand.
Что-то помнишь, когда попросил сделать?
I don't know if it's just a microphone.
Громко сделай.
Yeah, just a microphone, Laura. Yeah.
Okay. So I will continue.
Sure.
Educational system. I mean, we have more or less the same educational system in the region. We used to have 12 years before the higher education system, no? So we have 1 or 2 years of the preschooling. In some countries it's mandatory since the preschooling. Then we have the elementary education, 6 years. We call it primaria, no, elementary education. Then we have the high school. It's just 3 years, the high school. It's different like in the United States, no? They have the high school and senior high school, but we have just high school, it's secundaria, and then we have the senior high school. We call it bachillerato, preparatoria, or bachiller, no, in different countries, and this is 3 years. So it's 12 years, and then you can continue with a bachelor degree. In some countries, we have also technical schools. So students, this is mainly for the poor people, no? They used to have just a technical degree. Technical schools, it's 3 years, and then you can continue with a bachelor degree, 4 years. In some countries, it's 5 years to get a bachelor degree. Then it's master degree, 2 years, and then a PhD, you know? It could be 2 or 3 years or more, depends of the doctorate degree. But this is mainly the educational system. In some countries like Colombia, Venezuela, and Peru mainly, they used to have a high school until year 11. And that's why these countries used to have a foundation program, like a mandatory when they want to study abroad. So, and it was the same in Brazil, no? They changed the system just like 5-7 years ago, but they used to have just 11 years until the high school. So this is changing. They are trying to establish 12 years for the whole region, just to have and standardize the educational system. But you can find a lot of high schools in Colombia and Venezuela that they just do 11 years until the high school, So it's important also to see the certificates in every country, because you can find like that some students finish high school when they have 16 years old. So they need, in these cases, the foundation. But this is also good because these countries already know and understand, no, and they have the knowledge about what is a foundation. So this is also like an advantage and a disadvantage in some cases. When you have a private education in all the region, they study until year 12, high school, no? But you can see, no, in general, this is the educational system, more or less similar to Russia. So in terms of the population, the economical situation, and the youth people, I'm going to focus this presentation in just 4 countries: Mexico, Brazil, Chile, and Colombia, because I think that focusing on these 3 countries, you will see, you know, like a general and the most important facts about the region. So I'm going to start with Brazil. Brazil, it's quite different, you know. You can see a lot of I mean, it's huge, you know. Brazil is really huge, but the regions are quite different, you know, the north, the south, and you can see a lot of people from Germany, from Japan, you know, so it's quite interesting, Brazil. And it's, well, very important in terms of international education. The official language is Portuguese. Population, no, it's 210.2 million people. No, it's quite big. The currency is the real, no, and it's $1 US is equal to 4.8 reals. No, so it's not like I mean, it's a strong currency. And the government is in charge of education, no? And this is very important because government is control the education and they develop also the education. So they try to be equal for everybody. Brazil is in the grip of an economic crisis. No, everybody knows about this. And with the new president is, I guess, is getting worse. No, they are in the 3rd number in terms of the pandemic. No, so they are in a crisis, which has made it more expensive for Brazilians to study abroad. I mean, they used to be the number 1 in Latin America, not to study abroad, but this is changing. It's important to mention that the Brazilians do not speak English. I mean, even if they say that, yes, I do, no. When you are in a student fair or like with agents, no, and just visiting the country, no, they used to say that they speak English, but that's not true, no. Unis need to educate agents and students, so they have the real expectation of their possibilities and the amount of effort and money they need to put into to study in Russia or other country, no. So in some cases, you need to speak Portuguese if you want really to get into the market, no. I mean, not everybody speak English, even in the, I mean, in the airports, no, or in like touristic sites. But of course, there are really good schools, like bilingual schools. So you can find in those places, no, the people for the niche to study abroad. The international education market in Brazil is one of the largest in the world. No, I mean, it's huge. Currently, this market has around 5,400 study abroad agencies. You can find the biggest and the most nice and important educational agencies in Brazil. I mean, they are so fancy. An agent used to have more than 100 branch offices around the country. No, so this is a huge market. Apart from universities and institutes that conduct courses and combine with institutions abroad. Universities are very important, no, in terms of study abroad, because they used to have a lot of exchange programs, and the universities used to have groups to study abroad. So if you want numbers, you need to focus on universities, institute, and government institutions, no, to send groups to study abroad. But this is really common to find groups that want to or look for a program abroad. only 14%, approximately 30 million people of the Brazilian population achieves a higher education level, no? So it's 30 million people, according with the OECD. But in a country with more than 200 million people, no, there is a great possibility ahead. And it's like really common, no? Like wealthy people look for a program abroad. I mean, they want that their kids study abroad and not just a short program. No? They want to send their kids to study the whole bachelor degree or a master degree, no, or other programs. Only 5% of the Brazilians speak English, no, according with the British Council. There are some British Council offices in the region, and they used to offer a lot of programs to speak and learn English. So just 5%, but this is, I mean, an important amount if you see the whole country. Short courses are still very popular. No, if you visit an agent, they are going to ask you, no, for diplomas, for the academic semester, exchange programs, no? So they always look for short courses. But, you know, this is also like just because it's the common, or it's popular, because it's also easy for agents to sell these programs. I mean, agents are not they don't have the knowledge in higher education, no, area. So you need to give this knowledge. You need to take time, no, to explain about that it's possible to study a bachelor degree abroad, not just an academic semesters. In some cases, they don't realize about this. So you need to teach about this, no, like it's possible, it's not so expensive. So you need to take time just to teach them about everything, in some cases, about visa process, about the documents, you know, about the whole process to study abroad. And I realized, you know, like when I started with Brazil around 10 years ago, no, they had no idea about this. They just used to send students to study English, no, but this is changing. Brazilians look for a great lifestyles and high quality of education. No? So to engage with Brazilian students, you should reflect their full Russian experience alongside the quality of Russian education offering. This is very, very important, but I guess you have this, no? So it's also good. Brazilian students look for a country where they can work, and that makes now Russia very attractive. They always ask you, no, like, can I work? No, with this program, can I work? No, can I do something? Even if they don't receive a pay, no? It's also like just to receive the work experience, to have an internship, no? To have like a job opportunity. English language study continues to be in high demand. However, students are now looking to add specialized knowledge to support their careers. In Brazil, immigration plays an important aspect of the decision-making process when deciding where to study. So, I mean, they are going to ask you, can I stay, no, at the end of my program? Can I get a permanent visa, no? This is now also like a very common. Brazil is going through difficult economic times, and people are looking for places to immigrate. So when immigration is the main driver, people are looking for low prices. And now it's also very common that they are going to ask you, can I take my family with me? Because they want to migrate. So they are looking for this kind of options. So it's important to know all this information, because they are going to ask you for this. Brazilians always look for how efficient are the programs when looking for jobs, no? Therefore, how industry connect are UNIS programs. So they are going to ask you, can I get a good job at the end of my program? Can I stay, no? Can I get a postgraduate work permit? This is also very important for people now. And it's in the whole region. So for Mexico, no, this is the second main economic on the region, and also in terms of numbers and like a developed international education. I am based in Mexico City, and I have been here, well, in Mexico, no, my whole life. I was born in the north, but I started like, I don't know, when I was 5 years old, no, came to Mexico City, and I'm based in Mexico City. Official language is Spanish, of course. The population, it's more or less half, like in Brazil. It's just 128 million people. It's also huge. The currency is peso, the Mexican peso, and $1 is equal to 21 pesos. No, so it's because the pandemic. No, this is getting worse. We had at the beginning of the year, was just 18 pesos per dollar. Now it's 21. The government is in charge of education, and this was since many time ago. The Mexican state has been directly involved in education since the 19th century, promoting secular education. But although you can find a lot of Catholic, Jewish, all the religions have some schools, and this is important, because these schools, like Catholic or Jewish or like Muslim schools, are really, really, in a high level of education, the high quality. So if you want to focus in a specific niche, with the rich people, you will see secular but also religious education. Education in Mexico is currently regulated by the Secretariat of Public Education, Secretaría de Educación Pública, SEP. They are in charge of everything, mainly. They used to issue all the certificates, since the kindergarten until the higher education. But education standards are set by SEP at all levels, except in anonymous universities chartered by the government, like UNAM, Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, Tec de Monterrey, Tecnológico de Monterrey, which is also huge and very important. They are autonomous, but in general, SEP is in charge of education, and they issue all the certificates. So if you want to see if a certificate it's not like a real and important, you need to see the SEP stamp. Accreditation of private schools is accomplished by a mandatory approval and registration with this institution. About the facts, what's important to focus in Mexico. Agents are a key channel for connecting with international education target audience. If you want to start with this market, you need to focus in some agents. And AMTE, Mexican Association of Educational Tourism, is quite important, it's very important. They encompasses the main educational agencies of the country. I don't like too much AMTE, just personally, because they are not very proactive and they don't show the true numbers, but they encompasses a lot of agents and also financial institutions in terms of international education. So you need to have a contact with this one. Digital marketing is a powerful tool on this market. It's like quite popular to use Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, it's YouTube. So if you want to have marketing campaigns, you need to focus on these tools. Niche opportunities, you need to focus on government, because government offers some scholarships to study abroad. Although, with new president, things have changed a lot, but there are still some big programs in terms of international education. So you need to contact government, and this could be like in federal or state, or municipality level, but you need to be in contact with government. CONACYT, I guess you know this institution because it's like the main institution, issue scholarships mainly for masters and PhDs, but CONACYT, FUNET, Mexicana de Becas, FIDER, and CIMBESTAF are the institutions more important that offer scholarships and fundings to study in Mexico and abroad, mainly for postgraduate programs. It's like they are the most important, and they used to have a lot of options and opportunities for Mexicans. Mexicans shows potential in English, vocational colleges, these are very, very common, higher education for undergraduate and postgraduate options, but also for high schools and summer camps. No? So you can find people looking for any kind of programs to study abroad. There are families that send their kids, no, and I mean their kids, just 2, 3, or like the whole family, just go to study abroad, starting in elementary schools. There are rich families, like send their kids to study in Switzerland, in the US, in Canada. So you can find like any kind of options now, like they look for international education. English, I think it's also quite popular. Many people think that because we are besides the United States, we speak English, but no, this is not true. I mean, a big amount of Mexicans used to speak English, but not like in a high level. So they always ask for an English course abroad. But like now, it's like more people is looking for different options for long-term programs. They are looking to study the whole bachelor abroad, the whole master's, not just like an experience. Some private unis and high schools in Mexico are more expensive than similar institutions abroad. And I think that that's why it's an important market, for Russia, because when I realize about the fees, and compare the fees, I think many people would like to study in Russia because of this. Chile, this is the third country. Chile, it's also important because the history, because the education they have, because they are growing a lot in different issues. Official language is Spanish. The population, it's 17.5 million. The currency is peso, Chilean peso. $1 US equal to 767 pesos. No, it's not like a really strong in terms of currency. Students can choose between 16 public universities and 43 private universities. They used to have just 60 different universities. Now they are 59. So it's not like many, compared with Mexico then we have more than 500. No, it's just 60. Agencia Chilena de Cooperación Internacional para el Desarrollo, that's the name in Spanish, is the government foundation to offer scholarships abroad. They used to have a lot of options, and students always look for this first when they want to study abroad. All universities, institutes, and technical schools in Chile charge enrollment and tuition costs. So in some cases, it's the reason that many students look for, countries like Germany, that they don't charge, or other countries, because they always need to pay. And this is changing, but right now, it's like they need to pay something. Chileans are among the most politicized in Latin America. And that's also important, because they have no education, but also they fight for their rights. And they always look for a better life and to get a better quality, in different subjects. Chile is an established market with low conversion rate. So you need to do a lot to get small numbers. This is really, really true. You need to travel, you need to visit many agents, do different student fairs, and you will get just small numbers, but they're really, really good. The quality is really high. So you will get good students, but just small numbers. Chileans mostly study their undergraduate degree in Chile, followed by postgraduate, master's, and PhD degrees abroad. And I realized about this when I was in the country. I had visited Chile a couple of times. And they say, well, no, I'm going to do my bachelor here, because, we have good universities. They just, they don't think to study abroad a bachelor degree, just some people do that because they think that they have really good education, even if it's not real. Niche opportunities in Chile, it's like a government offers some scholarships to study abroad, like English Open Doors, Técnicos para Chile, Semillero Rural, among others. So you need also to contact government institutions apart, like other things. Universities need to maintain the government to government linkage and maximize alumni and PR opportunities in order to promote Russia as the destination for new future of Chilean students. No, it's like you need to contact different institutions in terms of international education. The students coming from wealthy families generally follow a university pathway, since vocational degrees in Chile mostly result in lower wage and limited professional development. Therefore, it's perceived as being of lower quality compared to university degrees. I mean, they always look for the better, like a way to get a good education. So they try to do a bachelor degree to focus in universities. And in some cases, it's the same reason that's why they want to study abroad. That's why they want and look for an option abroad. The education of the youth people is an important fact for Chilean families. So they do like an important effort to get the money, and they send their kids abroad. Then Colombia, I don't know if we have questions. Please just let me know, because I'm focused on the presentation. But if you have a doubt, or if you want to talk more in depth about a topic, just please let me know. Colombia. Colombia, it's growing. Colombia, for me, it's one of the most important countries, and I love this country. The official language is Spanish. Population, I mean, it's a small country, just 50 million people. They use the Colombian peso. One US dollar is equal to 3,600 Colombian pesos. I mean, the currency is not good. You need, I mean, for me, even for me, it's really, really cheap to be in Colombia. So imagine for Russians. The market shows a more mature approach to international studies at all levels. I mean, this is like an educate market in terms of international education. For me, it's like you can find the best agencies, educational agencies in Colombia. And even the students know about international education, about what is a foundation, and all these things. Colombians are used to study abroad at every level. They base their decision making on brand reputation. So they look for the brand, they look for the quality in terms of education. Annex, a National Association of Companies for Study Abroad, it's a great association where most important educational agencies converge to collaborate for the benefit of the industry. If you want, to spread your information, it's good to approach to this kind of institutions. Annex is the most important in Colombia, and they are really close. They work together. They do a lot of things together. So it's like a very, very important, this association. The most important high schools and universities are private. This is true. In some cases, they are not so expensive, but I mean, for normal people, it's expensive. So, so just the wealthy families focus on private education, but it's a really good education. And I mean, the facilities, the schools are big and really, really beautiful. Agents are a key agent for connecting with international education target audience. It's like Colombians rely on their guidance during the decision-making process. You need to work with agents if you want to convert and to get into this market. And there are many, many agents, and it's growing, this niche. There's a lot of different kind of agents. Not all of them are good. But there's a lot of like a network of travel educational agencies. Digital marketing is a powerful tool in this market, as Colombians are heavy social media users. So you need to spend some money in terms of digital marketing and in terms of marketing campaigns with Facebook also, with Instagram, TikTok, and other tools. Pathways are very popular here. Biggest opportunity in the Colombian market lies in growing the high school sector and postgraduate recruitment. But when you are in Colombia in a student fair, they are going to arrive and asking for a foundation. And this is just in Colombia. They know what is a foundation. They know about why they need a foundation program. So pathways, it could be pathways for English or other language, or just foundation to get into a bachelor degree, or even pre-master programs are very, very popular in Colombia. Colombia shows potential in all areas. I mean, English, foundation programs, and vocational colleges. At high school level, the opportunities are very slim, but building a good reputation in the marketplace is a key factor for future business. Like Chile, students are looking for 6 months up to a year mainly, but now it's like more people is looking to study the whole bachelor degree or the whole master. Colombian students and parents have a lack of knowledge about Russia, and see this country as distant and quite different. And this is not they have no idea. And you need to realize about that. You need to start in zero. You need to teach about the country, the universities, the lifestyles and everything. Australia and New Zealand are a well-known destination for Colombian students, even if these countries are quite expensive. So we focus just on the main facts of these 4 countries. Now I'm going to talk about the whole region. So the most requested programs in Latin America, the first one, it's language, is the most requested program, still. It could be English, French, Germany, but language is quite popular in the whole region. But the second one, it's diplomas and certificates. I know that, I'm quite sure that you know about a diploma in Canada, US, associate degrees could be 3 years diploma program. In Canada, you can do a diploma in 1, 2, or 3 years, and then continue in a bachelor degree. So diplomas and certificates are quite popular because they are, in many cases, cheaper than a bachelor degree, or because they want to do just 1 or 2 year program. And then higher education, It's Latino students are looking more and more to complete higher education abroad. So it's also growing. And you can see a lot of people asking for a complete bachelor degree abroad, not just 1 year, not just an academic semester. And the most requested areas in LATAM, according with the World Bank, it's there are currently more than 20 million university students in Latin America who are trained in the more than 1,000 higher level institutions in the region, whose academic offerings exceed 60,000 training programs. So there's a lot of people trying to get a bachelor degree. Many people start a bachelor degree, but not all of them finish a bachelor degree, and that's true. And it's I know, sad, because many people want to start and to get a bachelor degree, but not many finish this one. And this enrollment figure has expanded dramatically in the last 15 years, where enrollment has gone from 21 of youth people of study age to 43 now. So there's a dropout rate, but I mean, many people is trying to get an education and high quality in terms of education. Popular areas to study in the region, it's a law, accounting, architecture, business, some engineering options, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, control and automation, robotics, mechatronics, also humanities, medicine, and arts, are very popular. Here, many people focus just on like the most common degrees, not the most common areas. And in some cases, in many cases, they don't realize that there are many new programs. And that's why in some cases they want to study abroad. Popular areas to study abroad in some cases are quite different. They try to focus on STEAM program now, like science, technology, engineering, and math. Also medicine is like quite popular to study abroad. In terms of engineering, they want to study aviation, robotics, civil. Science, they are looking for nanoscience, nanotechnology, biology, biotechnology, chemistry, and many, many more. Science is quite popular when they want to study abroad. They always look for like different options. Business, of course, is also popular. Music, music, digital music, music like the bachelor in music, and environmental, like environmental science, natural resources, and also like the combination with tech and environmental. They are the most common and like popular areas to study abroad. The most popular destinations in Latin America, and I got these numbers from the association, educational agencies on the region, also from BELTA, which is the most important association for English in Brazil, and other institutions like the British Council. According with all of them, Canada is still the first option to study abroad. Canada, after many years, working in the region with fairs with the government, they have done a great job in the region, and that's why they are the first option now to study abroad. Many people think that US is the first, but not, it's Canada. And now also with the pandemic, and the work they have done with the pandemic crisis, they are also quite popular right now. So it's the first option. The second one, it's Australia. For Brazil and Chile, it's also New Zealand and Australia quite popular. But in general, Australia is becoming more popular because they can study and work, even with English, because they can stay at the end of the program, and because they can migrate. That's why Australia and New Zealand are becoming more and more popular. And the third option is the United Kingdom. So many universities, even because they are quite expensive in some cases, but United Kingdom, because many universities and group of universities have been in the region, the United Kingdom is quite popular in Latin America. Universities like Kingston are not so expensive, like Royal Holloway, Lancaster, and other important universities in the UK. They are, very proactive in the region, and that's why it's the third options. But for Mexico, also some European countries are becoming popular in recent years. Germany, because it's free, somehow, the education, it's also popular. Spain, because the language, it's also quite popular. But Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom. Factors to study abroad in Latin America. The main motivations for Latino students to seek international educations are the quality in education. They look for qualities, in terms of education, like a good institutions, like in some cases they look for rankings, but not all of them, but they always try to look for rankings. International recognition, when they return to their country, they always say, oh, I study abroad, I study in this institution. So international recognition is important, even to look for a job, when they return. Some of them look for tourism and live abroad. The lifestyle is very important. Curriculum enhancement, they want to study abroad because the job experience, because they want to have a better curriculum. Escape from the crisis or violence. This is also very, very important. Many people try to look for other options abroad just because they cannot handle the crisis and the violence. I published an article a couple of years ago in The Guardian about this, why Mexicans look for institutions abroad, just because the violence, and just because in some cases they have been kidnapping, or things like that. So they want to move forward. They want to look other options abroad. And because programs not offered in the country, in some cases, they look for nanotechnology because they cannot find a good program here, or because they cannot find a bachelor degrees in a specific area. So they look for these options abroad. There are a few other factors that lead Latinos to seek international education, but the searching channels are limited. Most of the students try to find information within their own universities or with the study abroad agencies, but they always try to find in different channels. In addition, they do spend a good time Googling information from social medias, websites. So some students get information in internet, and they do by themselves the process, but in many cases, and I guess it's like more people look for options with agencies. However, culturally, Latinos tend not to deal with a school directly, so they do not feel safe by doing it. They want to see a face. They want to deal with somebody, like face to face. They need someone who they can contact in their country or in the city, because in some cases they look for a specific agent in the city, not just in the country. And this can be a school representative, it could be, now there are many school representatives, marketers in the country, in Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil, you can find a lot of school representatives, because they know that this is very important, The school employee, an agency, a university, or a partner, so you need to find also how you are going to connect with a country, with a region, but also how you are going to do the follow-up, how you are going to answer to these people, and how they are going to do the process. Main issues for an educational agencies, in Latin America, agents continue to play a key role in the decision-making process for students and their families. Even if a student find a university online, then they look for options, okay, I found this university, but I want to start the process with an agent or with a school representative, or I'm going to contact the university in a student fair. So agents, in terms of agencies, when they look for partnering with an international school, they want to see good profitability. They always look for this. They like a good feedback from students. They don't want to see complaints. They also look for indications, leads. They like to receive leads from the institutions. Participation in events. This could be, even online or face-to-face, student fairs, webinars. Sponsorships, they always like to receive marketing contributions or like a sponsorship for specific events. Also, available network support, easily accessible material. They want to see material in some cases in the local language, because they work with parents, so they like to see material in the local language, and brochures, but also flyers, but also information about the country, not just the university or the program. A local contact if possible. Continuous support. You need to give a lot of support to agents if you want to work in Latin America. You need to give fast answers. And that's why it's important, the local contact. Visa advisor. They are not really good with visa process. They don't like to deal with this process. So in some cases, they contact just like visa counselors. And participation in universities events, like online and in person, as I said. So, this is quite unique because you need to give a lot to receive just some numbers. You need to work hard, no, in Latin America, but you can find like a really good prospect. You can find like a high quality in terms of the students. And if you, I mean, if you do a really good relationship with an agent, no, or with a contact, you can get really good results. What agents don't want to have when partnering with an international school, it's complaints from students, annoying officer, no, price list errors, no. I mean, they used to have the fees online, no, or in the material, so they don't want to see price list errors. They used some platforms like advisors and Book and Learn. I don't know if you are familiar with these platforms, but on these platforms, there is like all the information of the universities and all the institutions. So they just get the city, the institution, and they get the budget. They don't want to see delays on process and answers from units, no? Like they want to see all the information and the answers ASAP. Insecurity about the content of courses or process. They want to see everything, no? Like explain in detail. Delays on commission payments, no? It's also like important. If you want to have a really good relationship with agents, you need to try not to do these things, no? Like I mean, it could be, you know, like a normal to happen sometimes, but not like a very often. And I mean, universities used to do, you know, like in the past, just like a student first, and just to contact agents and just to use a database and send emails. No, it used to be just this for many years, but now, and because the pandemic crisis, now everything is changing. Now everything is changing. So you need to be more creative. You need to work with different tools. Use same tools, but work with others, like webinars, like to have virtual school tours. This is now like a very popular, not just, okay, you cannot go to the school, but you can find like a lot of virtual tours. Use Zoom or virtual meetings like this one, like a virtual first. Now, I mean, I work with different institutions. I work as a representative of a Canadian college, an Ireland institution, and we are doing a lot of virtual fairs right now. We are doing like a specific fairs for Mexico, for Brazil, for the whole region, but we are doing a lot of virtual events, and I mean, they are not cheap, no? We think that because it's virtual, it's cheaper than the normal fairs, but they are not cheap. But you need to do this if you want to be connected with the students, with the agents, with the region. So it's important to think in all this if you want to develop, like a real strategy on the region. And well, in synthesis, I mean, it's a lot of information, but I try to focus and cover, like the most important things on the region. But I mean, LATAM is still a very important region, in terms of international education. We're now with actual political issues and with many people looking for options to live and study abroad. LATAM is important also in terms of the nationality mix. Many people, I mean, they know that they can find a lot of students in China or in Asia, in general. But LATAM is important. If you want to have a good nationality mix, if you want to have a good students, good prospects, an important growing middle class is emerging. That's true. So you can find an important niche, in the region. In the past, the majority of students were interested in English language courses, but now people is looking for other options, and vocational and higher education are becoming more and more popular. So, I mean, many people is looking to study abroad the whole degree. Agents know and understand more higher education and foundation studies. It's like, and now they realize that this is also important, but they're still confused for students. So agents or local representatives are still necessary to get good numbers. LATAM is a very price-sensitive market and looking for scholarships. Even if your university is cheap, they always ask for scholarships. But I think it's like the main advantage for Russia, because when I realized about the fees in Russia, I mean, they are not like I mean, it's like an important region. It's like a really good universities, but they are not expensive. No, you are not expensive compared with other, no, like destinations. I mean, like US, like Canada, like Switzerland. No, I mean, it could be. I mean, some families in Mexico, they spend like 30,000-40,000 US dollars for just one academic year. No, so Russia, it's like, I mean, that you have quality and you have like a good facilities and a lot of areas degrees. So you have a lot of advantages to get into this region, no? So there is a potential in Latin America for Russia for sure. So I think that's not like the presentation. But I mean, if you have questions, if you want to talk more in depth about a specific issue, just please let me know. I know Michael or Dimitri, if you want to talk about all this.
Hi, Laura.
Yes.
There are a few questions in the chat. If you have chance to answer, thank you.
Do you need help with this from organizers, Laura, or you can manage by yourself? I mean, the questions.
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to read them or? Because
yes, because we have several questions.
I don't understand.
In the chat facility. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
So several questions are in the chat. So if you please can take a look, or I can help you and just say.
Okay. It's what educational programs are not available in Latin America. Well, you know, when in science, no, like we are not like so good in science, so you can, I know, things like bio, no, like biotechnology, or in a specific area like genetics, no, could be in some destinations, no, you can find a bachelor degree in genetics or nano or things, and in Latin America it's not quite popular that. So when a student try to find a specific science program since the bachelor, they always look abroad. So science, in some cases, specific, no, like robotics or aviation, no, some aviation engineers are also not popular in the region, no? But I mean, yeah, in general, it's like specific degrees. Because here we used to have just engineering, no, like general engineering, or like a general, no, science, or just science. And if you want to do a bachelor in biology, but with a specific area, then you look abroad, not you look for abroad. All countries which have interest from LATAM students have high tuition fees. That means agencies commission high to, yeah, I know that. In Russia, there is another situation, lower tuition fee, lower commission, yeah. And in, yeah, you need to work on that. I mean, you need to explain agents, no? You will not get like a higher commission, but if you, I know, send a lot of students, you will get, no, like commission, or try to, I don't know, to get this commission from other resources. I mean, if you help students with the visa process, in some cases they charge something. Or if you help students with the translations, you know, like through all the process, some countries like Mexico, they used to charge for everything. Some countries like Colombia, they don't used to charge, no? They know that if they charge even like an application fee, they are out of the market. But you need to work with agency in these terms, no? Like, okay, this is like you will get more students with low commission, but maybe if you get many, no, you will get good, I mean, a good amount. But yeah, I know that, and there are some agents that focus just on expensive programs. I mean, they focus just in Switzerland because they know that they are going to get a lot of money with just one student, no? So you need to find the correct agents, no, and students for Russia. It's a mix. but you can find not that. And just, I mean, Spain used to have the same issue because some universities in Spain are really cheap, and they know that in some cases they don't have the market hit because they are cheap, but they work in specific cities with specific agents and they get results. To work with Russian, is it still?
Is the same. Yeah, actually, there is one more question.
Yeah,
I can formulate it. Since the situation with the COVID-19 dictates that universities actually develop some online courses, like they are switching to even for degree programs, they also switching for online learning. So my question is that, and the same question is on the chat, is what is the role of the online education in LATAM, and actually is it popular among students, and could it be a kind of substitution for regular education in terms of current situation?
Yeah, in terms of this situation, I think it could be like a more attractive, no, like the Russian fees, universities, and everything, because I mean, we had a meeting yesterday with the Canadian colleges, and they say, no, like they are going to charge same fees even with online courses. So it's going to be like 14,000 Canadian dollars for an online course. So if you have the same course in Russia for just 1,000 or less, no, they are going to focus in Russia because it's going to be online. So of course, if you focus with online courses, I guess you are going to get more results or better results. But here it's not quite popular online courses because they want to feel the experience. I mean, we had another meeting with the students, no, first was with agents and then with the students, and they said, no, like, I want to study abroad. I want to go to the, no, like, to travel. I want to live out of Mexico. I want to live out of Colombia. So if you choose, no, like with online and like in person, I mean, they are going to decide not to travel even for the next year. No, but if you have online courses, and even with companies, you know, there is a niche with the companies because they have a specific budget for online courses for their staff. So you can, you know, like also like find a good niche in companies, no, I mean for masters or like short courses or like specific programs. But if you compare just online programs, I guess you have an advantage.
Okay, thank you very much. There is one more question, but to be honest, we are running out of time. So yes. I would like to suggest that you answer the last question from the chat, which is governments of Latin countries will open borders in the summer or fall or not?
Okay, it's, I mean, every country is different. But I mean, some countries like Colombia already said that they are going to open borders in September. No, they are going to planning everything for September. In Mexico, nothing is for sure. No, it's still like developing. But I mean, the numbers are increasing. No, the people infected and everything, it's not like really good. So in general, the idea is to start like the normal, no, like a normality in September. But nothing is like confirmed yet. Some Central America countries said that they are not going to open in the next months, the borders, but depends on the region. Brazil, I don't think so because they are like a really in a bad situation. But the idea is to start with the normality in the fall. But yeah, that's, I mean, I mean, it could be changed, like tomorrow. So the idea is, yes, to start in September, but nothing is confirmed yet.
All right, thank you so much. Actually, my uploads are going to you, and I'm sure that you can hear the uploads from other participants of this session for such an interesting presentation from you, Laura. And we definitely will distribute your presentation among all the participants who have registered for the event, and we will encourage them to get in touch with you. And if somebody will be able to build relations with you, we'll be more than happy about this. So basically, thank you so much, and we will need to go to the second part of our meeting, which will be in Russian language. So
Okay.
you can stay if you wish, or you can also go if you have other things to do.
I'm not going to understand, but thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Happy to be in contact with all of you. Happy to establish, like a strategy for the region. And well, I hope to find the correct students for Russia. But thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Да, спасибо большое. Мы немножко дольше, чем планировали. Я извиняюсь за это, но я думаю, что в принципе была интересная была, наверное, презентация, был хороший спикер, поэтому мы не сильно устали. Я бы хотел воспользоваться этой возможностью и рассказать несколько моментов о том, как был проведен наш глобальный день российского образования. Ну, не как проведен, а какие достигнуты были по итогам его результаты. Я покажу быстренько несколько слайдов, буквально 2. Значит, в первую очередь показать хотел по поводу того, какие были направления представлены больше всего. Вузы представили больше всего направлений, это IT, машиностроение или в целом, допустим, назовем его engineering по-английски. И наименьшее количество было представлено электроэнергетика. Значит, я бы хотел сказать, что по итогам мероприятия, это первый слайд, который я хотел показать, второй слайд у нас такого характера, да, это информация о том, сколько кого где было. Значит, у нас получилось 15 вузов из 12 городов, 23 сертифицированных и подготовленных нами агента из 14 стран, в том числе как раз-таки Лаура. Также 4500 заявок было получено, значит, по итогам мероприятия на участие, на обучение в России. Из них 600 это пришли по итогам нашей собственной маркетинговой деятельности, остальные были привлечены через агентские каналы. И по итогу 746 просмотров уникальных мы зафиксировали в живом эфире, когда мы проводили мероприятие. Но по факту это число больше уже стало, потому что идет постоянное привлечение новых участников на просмотр записи. Мы думали, что не будет большого интереса, но все равно смотрят, в принципе, уже просто смотрят на какие-то конкретные вузы, интересуясь теми или иными выбранными для себя программами подготовки. Что касается стран, которые участвовали, ну, их было 32 страны, значит, ну, больше всего 5 стран основных мы указали, это Марокко, Индия, Гана, Уганда и Пакистан. В 2 словах такая информация. Я хотел бы сказать еще о чем, что мы в своей работе, в общем-то, изначально ориентировались на то, чтобы содействовать организации взаимодействия между вузами и рекрутинговыми компаниями. Для этого мы проводим с ними постоянную работу. Ну, во-первых, мы расширяем количество этих компаний, во-вторых, мы отбираем те, которые готовы работать с Россией, выражают желание, и они также проходят обучение. То есть мы искренне предполагаем, что, пройдя обучение, потратив свое время, они на самом деле будут хорошими партнерами для наших вузов. Поэтому из числа, значит, тех заявок, которые мы получаем, на самом деле очень многие из них идут со стороны агентов, но мы пока еще не получили до конца картину с их стороны, собираемся. Ну, для нас главное, чтобы состоялся набор. В этом смысле мы находимся в одной лодке. И поскольку я хотел бы передать слово своему коллеге Никите, который отвечает за взаимодействие с вузами по подготовке первой нашей сессии мероприятия, мы получили много позитивной информации, и я хотел бы, чтобы Никита поделился нашими дальнейшими планами.
Спасибо, Дмитрий. Коллеги, всем добрый день. Очень рад видеть здесь сотрудников международных департаментов, с которыми я сам лично знаком. Новые лица, кто еще меня не знает. Всегда открыты к общению, спокойно можете найти мои контакты, всегда связываться с нами. Первое, что я хотел бы сказать, наверное, это дополнить слова Дмитрия по поводу мероприятий, которые мы провели. И хотел бы вам прямо наглядно показать. Вы можете использовать наш сайт проекта globalred.ru. На нем отражена вся информация, все, что прошло. Первый момент. Есть соцсети, да, все активные. Особенно обратите внимание на Facebook. На этой страничке мы стараемся как можно чаще выкладывать актуальную информацию, свои какие-то проекты, мысли, общение с нашими партнерами и агентами, где вы можете перейти, посмотреть, что это за люди, что они себя представляют, как-то покоммуницировать. Итак, что касается Global Red, который прошел 27 мая, мы трансляцию вели с нашего сайта. Здесь у нас есть встроенный плеер. Если вы сейчас перейдете, вы сможете уже посмотреть, как это прошло. Справа есть кнопочка «Эпизоды», где каждый вуз разбит по таймингу. То есть вы, если хотите посмотреть какой-то конкретный университет, вы его включаете, и у вас пойдет сразу же запись. Включится. То есть посмотрите, как работали спикеры университетов, посмотрите, как они презентовали свои университеты, как работали с презентацией. Посмотрите, как выглядит дизайн, как все это работало, как механика производила. Окей. Тут также есть концепция проекта. Для тех, кто еще не видел его, посмотрите, обязательно почитайте. Вот. И что самое важное, мы бы хотели вас пригласить поучаствовать во втором дне глобального российского образования, который мы собираемся провести 2 июля в 10:30 по МСК. В частности, обращаясь к тем вузам, которые у нас принимали решения по первому глобалу и в какой-то момент не смогли с нами поучаствовать в нем по каким-то причинам, мы вас приглашаем. Плюс те, кто из вас ничего не слышал, не видел про Global Red, тоже вас позовем. Мы постараемся на днях отправить вам уже коммерческое предложение, чтобы вы почитали и посмотрели, что он все включает, ознакомились полностью с проектом. И на втором глобале, что мы хотим точно сделать, это расширить географию. То есть если первый глобал, он был по странам, это все-таки Африка, Средняя Азия, то мы сейчас, естественно, хотим расширить границы, да, сделать больше упор на все страны, абсолютно, в том числе и на Латинскую Америку, чтобы абитуриентов уникальных пришло еще гораздо больше. Сейчас наши вузы, которые поучаствовали в глобале, они находятся на стадии уже работы с заявками. То есть все заявки, которые мы получили по итогу мероприятия, когда во время прямой трансляции нам ребята писали, регистрировались и так далее, мы их передаем в университеты для проработки, и они уже с ними связываются, предлагают свои какие-то условия, рассказывают про себя и так далее. Вот. Так что ожидайте от нас письмо. Мы обязательно еще разошлем вам все материалы по сегодняшнему дню, презентации, видеозаписи этой конференции, потому что спикер был действительно очень интересный из Латинской Америки, рассказала очень много нюансов, дала какие-то даже инструменты по работе, площадки, соцсети, что смотреть, почему люди хотят уехать из Латинской Америки учиться. Очень интересно, вот мы эту информацию вам тоже предоставим. Дмитрий?
Да, спасибо большое. Просто не хочется уже задерживать коллег, много чего сказать, поэтому давайте попрощаемся. Если какие-то вопросы есть, возьмите слово, пожалуйста, сейчас не будем уже в чат писать. А если вопросов нет, тогда будем рады вас слышать и видеть в дальнейших мероприятиях. И пришлем вам на днях наше предложение по участию во второй сессии Global Red. Спасибо большое вам.
Спасибо большое, вопросов нет. До свидания.
До свидания.
Спасибо, коллеги. Спасибо. Рассылку я сделаю по списку почт, на которых вы регистрировались. То есть в чат можно не писать. Спасибо большое. Всем хорошего.